What's up, guys? Xbox Tech Junkie back today with another video. I'm super excited to announce some great news that we just got 2 days ago from our cannon fodder, thanks to Jeff Easterling and, of course, Troy Denning. I'm going to jump right into that real quick. Just a quick side note. The video that I wanted to release both Monday and Tuesday has been delayed once again, only because of this new news. So I'm just going to push it till Friday, just that way I'm releasing it on at least a Monday or a Friday to keep it kind of like on a good schedule. So the second episode of Halo the Library Edition will be out this Friday. That will be for Halo Primordium, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, let's just jump right into the video. Alright, so what's this new news? Well, 2 days ago, Jeff Easterling and Troy Denning decided to do an unannounced announcement of the brand new Halo book coming this September called Halo Shadows of Reach. So, what is Halo Shadows of Reach? Well, Shadows of Reach is, in a way, like a cool sequel to Halo Fall of Reach. It's not necessarily following, obviously, the events of Fall of Reach, because that's Halo 1, but it is giving us another look at Reach ever since we left it in the ending of Halo Reach, or Halo the Fall of Reach, depending on if you've played both the game or read the book, or if you've just read the book or just played the game. Whatever you did, as long as you've done something with Reach in the past, you know that the last time we saw it, it was being glassed by the Covenant in 2552, and haven't seen much of it except for that little tiny snippet from the Fall of Reach animated series, but I'm kind of just going to gloss over that, not even really talk about it. But this new book is official return to the planet Reach. So I don't have my actual new version. This is actually a original copy that I got a long time ago. It's not in the best condition because it's aged, and I was just terrible at taking care of books back then. But anyway, if you haven't read The Fall of Reach, I would definitely recommend reading it because it is the first any kind of like Halo material that we got prior to the games releasing. So I mean, for a lot of people probably think that Halo 1 was the first thing released. Technically, this came out right before it, just giving us some more insight of everything that happened before Halo 1. So if you haven't read Fall of Reach or any Halo book, I would actually recommend just starting with this one. It's a great start, especially just to get into the Halo universe. And it kind of gives you a little more background of what might be happening in Shadows of Reach. So what is happening in Halo Shadows of Reach? Well, from the little snippet that we got from Jeff Easterling, it does sound like basically it takes place 1 year after Halo 5 Guardians. You know, after Cortana has taken over the galaxy, our Spartans have returned to Infinity and Halo Bad Blood, and we're just kind of wondering at this point, how does this all lead to Halo Infinite? And in a way, they have given us, or at least a sneak peek of the answer. Now, Troy Denning did say you do not have to read this book to understand the story of Halo Infinite. That's kind of been a lot of things that have gone on with Halo in the past couple of years. If you didn't read any of the books or read any of the comics, there were certain facts and things that happened throughout the games that a lot of people didn't understand. And it happened for me too. I never read the Kilo 5 trilogy, so for me, Jul Mandama, when he died in Halo 5, I didn't care. I thought he was a really small character. But after reading the Kilo 5 trilogy, I actually fell in love with his character. And while that's great, it wasn't the best way to introduce a character for fans who maybe don't read the books. So basically, if you're worried that you have to read Shadows of Reach to play Infinite, you do not. Don't worry. No one's forcing you to read a book, but you should. But as I was saying, a year later, Master Chief and the rest of the Blue Team are being sent back to Reach by the Infinity to return to Halsey's Castle Base. Now, if you don't remember what Castle Base was, it was essentially that place that June had taken her at the end of Reach, or the last moment we saw of Reach. And basically what they're going to be doing is retrieving some old tech. Now, the only old tech that I could really think that they could be retrieving for Halsey from any of her labs in general would be some sort of like equipment that would help either tame, duplicate, or whatever with Cortana. Remember, Cortana is based off a cloned copy of Halsey's brain. So like the same clones that they made for the Spartan 2 program, Halsey made a clone of herself and used its brain to create Cortana, because smart AIs are made from, brain tissue, typically based off someone who has already died. But, Halsey's just kind of wacko crazy, but we all love her. Well, at least I do. And so that's the only thing I could think they'd be going back to Reach for. Especially going back to Reach after what's happened to it. It's completely glassed, and we do know that, in 2589, a whole 20 years later from Halo 5's ending, that they start to recolonize the planet and terraform it to be, habitable once again. So besides that fun little background, another thing that we're going to be seeing is there's a new, or not necessarily new, but an unknown enemy that maybe we as the players have met and they're just not saying, or they're just teasing, or it's a brand new enemy. Again, we don't exactly know what we'll be fighting Halo Infinite. This might be a way to introduce it, or it could just be the Banished, like another faction or another group of the Banished that are on Reach. Either way, they are on this planet too, and Blue Team has to fight their way against them to get this whatever they're getting from Castle Base. In a way, we can kind of almost guess the ending of the book. I'm assuming that Chief is able to stop the whatever alien force is on this planet, because obviously, like I said, the planet gets terraformed later on and humans retake it, etc., etc. But besides that, there's actually one other big thing about it. They released the cover. Now, sometimes with these books, they only release the name, and people saying Shadows of Reach would have freaked out. But, just to keep adding to the fire that is Halo Infinite, they gave us a look at the front cover. And my God, is it one of my favorite covers of any Halo book. I mean, at first it was Silent Storm, and now it's this book. I'll leave a picture at the end of the video just so you can get a look at it if you haven't already, but I'll go ahead and explain it right now. So the cover just takes place in the middle of like a glassed land, and you can see Seraph fighters in the sky. You can see the ground is just completely molten glass from obviously the glassing beams from the Covenant. But what's more interesting is our 4 Spartans. Now, Blue Team in their entirety is portrayed on this. And what's great is we obviously know Chief has new armor in Halo Infinite, but we haven't known like what any other Spartan would look like, what any other Blue Team members would look like, or Osiris if they're even in the game. And this game, or this book, gives us a tease of what's to come if they're in Infinite. So to explain kind of like what they're wearing is Chief's wearing his Halo Infinite armor, which at this point we do know is Generation 3 Milner armor. Whatever model or mark it is, we don't know for sure, but I think we'll get some sort of explanation in this book. The rest of Blue Team are wearing their armor, or similar armors to what they wore in Halo Legends, the package, which was that cool animated short at the end of Legends where they're, where you see Blue Team save Dr. Halsey. And so Fred and Kelly's armor is almost an exact replica of that. Fred actually gets his knife shoulder thing back, which is pretty cool. Now, whether the armor is the actual original set or if it's a Generation 3 model of that armor, we don't know for sure. Linda looks like she's wearing her own new version of the armor, something similar to what she wore in Halo Collateral Damage, which was the little short comic book that we got. I don't know for sure. I haven't really been able to get a good look at it, but I am interested to see what her armor looks like, because she's been like the only character from Blue Team that was not part of Halo Legends. Besides that, though, some small things to look at is both Chief and Fred are using the MA, or I'm assuming the MA-40 assault rifles, while Linda and Kelly are still actually using the Halo 5 model of the sniper and shotgun. Personally, I don't mind that model or the design for those two. I think they look great. I mean, a lot of people are arguing about the shotgun. For me, I loved pretty much every shotgun iteration there was, so that doesn't really bother me. But what is one of the coolest details of this book's cover is how the Spartans are lined up. And for many people, or I should be thanking Halopedia for putting this out, by the way. They put it out on Twitter, and I was like, oh my god. So you'll see at the end of this video, but the way the Spartans are lined up on the new cover is the exact same way that they are lined up on the original Fall of Reach cover. So you got Chief right here in the middle with an MA5B. We got Linda over here with the sniper, Fred down here with an MA5B, and then Kelly over here with her shotgun. And that's exactly how they're lined up on the new Shadows of Reach cover. So it's just a cool little, callback to the original. Like 343 said, is they want Infinite to be a soft reboot. And the best way to explain that is if you've played God of War and you went from God of War 3 to the God of War 2018 version, it's like kind of a brand new story, but still continues what happened in the original God of Wars. And so yes, I had to use a PlayStation reference to explain Halo. Hey, don't assume. But that is pretty much it for today's video. I am super excited for this book to come out. Comes out September, which I'm assuming is now almost confirming that October is when we'll be seeing Halo Infinite. Only because Jeff Easterling said that this book will be out prior to Halo Infinite, and the fact that most of the toys and collectibles for all the new Halo Infinite stuff that we've seen comes out in the October time period. So October, November are my really two for sure. I'm more seeing October. But yes, the book comes out September. It is written by Troy Denning, so I'm pretty excited for that, and I cannot wait to read it. And I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.